been racing a long time.
Yes, I have.
You know what a Heim joint is.
Yep, we've used a lot.
You used a lot of them. You know that they typically rattle. They make a little noise. They do all this kind of stuff,
Yes,
and they're expensive to replace.
They really are, and the problem I have with them is that they are a consumable product, and you know, it's do the math. You know,
So what if I told you that I could supply you with a Heim type joint, an articulating joint that made no noise, it didn't need any lubrication, it would last, I won't say forever, but let's say indefinitely, we don't know how long yet, at a price that's no more than the price of a really good existing Heim joint?
I'd be all over it.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
So here's what we got. It's called an R joint. And the R can stand for ride quality, it could stand for ride tech, it could stand for race quality, or it could stand for R joint.
Our joint.
17.4 stainless, investment cast stainless, been tested, tensile strength is 51,000 pounds.
Holy crap.
We use a polished stainless ball. We use a Delrin-AF bearing cage.
That looks really interesting because it looks like it's kind of self-cleaning too. It looks like it will expel any sort of contaminant that may get in there, and that'll definitely keep it long-lived a little longer.
It is self-lubricating and self-cleaning.
Yeah.
So the way this thing goes together, you snap the ball in there and the little fingers spread apart. And then the bore here is tapered slightly. So as you push this into the bore, it squeezes the fingers down around that ball and it makes it tight. And then the spring here goes in and it puts pressure on here, constant pressure, to where when the initial break-in, it'll wear in a few thousandths, pushes it deeper in the bore and helps it stay tight. So now you have no grease to attract dirt.
Right.
You have these little grooves in here that will expel the dirt. You have a spring-loaded mechanism in here and a tapered board to help keep things tight.
Now, this little wave, I'm going to call it a spring washer or spring clip.
Wavy washer.
Wavy washer. Tell me more about this. This looks kind of interesting because I've never really seen anything used in that design.
Yeah, so the concept is if you put it on a flat surface, it's got some wave to it, and it's calibrated. You know, you can get these things made in different strengths, different spring rates.
Yep.
And look at this guy. He looks
Wait
like Call of
a
Duty
minute.
here.
You know what? I thought for someone so classy,
I can do my lipstick in this.
I call that Bret bling.
And, you know, you got wheels that are gold or silver. We've got one for everybody.
I can't beat that.
Color coordinate your car.
We want to put some on your
Earrings.
car because we figured you make enough noise that your car shouldn't make any noise.
That's a great point, right? That's a perfect way to look at
It'd
it.
be a nice
Is he
contrast.
mean or what?
He's the sweetest.
Guys, we're making a tech video.
Okay.
Okay,
All right,
back to nuts and bolts.
Yeah, we gotta be serious.
I've got to go check the specs on the rotary girder.
Cyclonic modulation dual rheostat device, that thing.
Commonly known as
Yep,
muffler
yep.
bearings.
Yes,
And since
yes.
it's a tech piece, I will slowly fade out of the shot.
All
back
right.
to business.
Where were we?
Wave Spring.
Wave Spring.
Wavy Spring.
Yeah, Wavy
Okay.
Spring, yes.
So the Wavy Spring is a calibrated spring, just like a coil spring or a leaf spring or anything like that, just in a smaller package. So as you compress this spring between two flat surfaces, it will offer a calibrated rate of pressure. And we keep pressure on the Delrin race and stainless steel ball in there within the tapered bore to maintain a consistent fluid movement.
You can see everything inside of here, and it's got the outer spring washer,
Yep.
the lock washer, and I can tell you right now, it lives there.
Oh yeah.
There's no movement.
It's a nice tight,
Yeah.
smooth articulation. It's consistent articulation. There's no breakaway torque. It takes just as much pressure to move it initially as it does to keep it moving.
Yes.
And you know, you're experienced enough, you can feel that through, especially if you multiply that by 6 or 8 Heim joints in a rear suspension, you can feel that lack of stiction in your driving. We can see it on data logging on shock travel and shock velocity.
Well, I read somewhere it's got like 30 degrees of rotation and 360 degrees
Yeah,
of movement.
so in this plane, obviously it'll run 360 degrees.
Sure.
In this articulation here,
Right.
it'll run 15 degrees in each direction.
Total of 30.
And different sizes have different degrees of articulation, but this is the most popular size here, 3/4 by 5/8. So or half inch. No, it's half inch. So this particular one's got 30 degrees of articulation.
Coupled with all of the other products that you have in the Ride Tech arsenal of handling, this is a definite compliment. And you've been pretty much first on the foremost of eliminating stiction, reducing it as best you can for every product.
We've done a huge amount of research and development into bushing materials and the features and benefits of that. We use Delrin bushings, rotational bushings in our control arms. Well, this is just an extension of that. And we've been in testing with these for about a year and a half, and we've tortured them. I took a couple of them apart and I filled them with grease and sandblasting sand and put them back together and ran them, trying to get them to die. I took the ball out of there and beat it and ground on it and tried to scar it up to try to get it to die. We can't seem to kill them.
Hard to kill them, yeah.
Really, really happy with that, and they are going to be included from here on out. They are going to be included with every Ride Tech 4-link assembly, whether it's a street rod, a race car, whatever it is. You're going to have our joint technology within that 4-link.